Shut up and sit down.
Okay, hello and welcome to Not in Syllabus. We are episode 0+1. We are episode 1 or we are episode 00.
Now, is this Roman numerals or normal?
We thought initially that we
Fuck cares.
agreed, but we want
Wait,
to
you're not
challenge.
supposed to speak right now. We haven't introduced you yet.
Yes, he is welcome our newest guest. We will introduce him shortly. But we don't know what we're going to number this podcast. It'll either be 00, it'll be 1, it'll be hexadecimal, it could be binary.
So it makes sense, but we don't know which format.
We don't know which.
We could use a date format from Excel.
We could. Okay, so
You're not supposed to speak yet.
So welcome to episode number 1, Not in Syllabus. We have with us all the way from Michigan, USA. Puttu, aka Shubhankar Das Gupta. Shubhankar, welcome to the podcast. He's our first guest on the podcast.
And probably the only one.
Probably the last one because we don't know if we'll record anymore. If we record anymore, then we'll see. You already know Mr. Anda, the single man on the podcast. And all the way from Michigan, we are in the Wasepur of US. We are in Texas. Our only reason for this visit is
to record an
is to
in-person
record this
episode.
podcast.
That's how much we value our podcast.
And I'm not sure that Shubhankar knew he was going to be on the podcast, but he kind of figured it out. Okay.
After the first episode.
Yeah. And if you've noticed, we have these new amazing microphones that make me love the sound of our voices. That's some ASMR sipping for you. And this is the first time in my life that I love the sound of my own voice. This is great.
I'm awesome.
Okay, I don't think it's that kind of a podcast. Let's just move on, please.
I've always hated the sound of my own voice before this. If I listen to a recording, like, fuck, isko kaun diya mic? Just stop it. But now...
So you have done recordings before?
Yeah, like recordings of WhatsApp voice notes or things like that, right?
I mean, you're not going to be using that mic for WhatsApp recordings, right?
But now I might.
I don't think it works that way. Moving on.
Also, Blue Yeti has not sponsored the podcast yet. But if
Please
you're watching...
So, Parth, tell me one thing. How does it feel to be in person recording this podcast?
I like being in person over Zoom.
What?
I like being in person.
That's not in person.
Because Zoom, there's this lag. When if I'm saying something, then I have to wait for it to get uploaded, then transmit to you, then download it, and then you laugh or maybe you won't. And then I have to edit that part.
So basically what you're saying is we are OG 90s kids.
Goodbye, childhood.
So that we prefer lag over.
Yeah, of course. I prefer doing this in
That
person.
makes sense.
Although the amount of setup work this took is too much work.
Took
But
a whole
okay.
weekend to do the setup, basically.
After episode 0, after the pilot episode, a bunch of people, and by a bunch of people I mean my mom and my sister.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
They are long-time viewers of this channel. Shout out to my family who have subscribed to the podcast. Those of you who haven't, I know 93% of you who listened to episode 0 have not subscribed. YouTube gives me stats.
Please, sir. I want some more.
You
93%
fuckers.
of 10.
Of 130 views.
Yeah.
Imagine 130 people
Well,
in your living room.
Well, to be fair, I think half of those views are from me.
Half of those views are
Yeah,
my
because
You're such a
I
jobless hunter.
no
My
no
fandom is a lie.
I had so based upon our last episode, I went back and saw the episode, obviously, because
Yeah.
you edited it, and good job at editing, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Shout out
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
to me.
Shout out
Past
to Parth.
me.
Yeah. And if you want anyone wants to edit any videos, he's the
Then
man.
don't come to me. Don't come.
He's
to
the
me.
man. You can go to him, but he won't.
Don't
he
come
won't
to me.
He won't help you.
I have anyways enough things to do. You
No, you
find your
don't.
own thing.
But anyways, yeah. So the reason I saw so many.
Unless you make a lot of money and you're in public health. Inside joke.
If you know, you know.
No, you know. If you know, and I'll put a little bit of a teaser down.
No.
But if you know who you are,
You're not
comment
supposed to say
section.
that you'll put it. It's already there.
Like it'll come essay. Either essay. There'll be a window and some text.
Where
will
are
show.
you pointing?
Here. Here.
That-
Like on the table.
On the table. Not what's under the table.
Yeah. Under
This is not that kind of
This
a
is not that
podcast.
kind
Kutu.
of a podcast.
Yeah, boy.
Twitter.
I don't know what
Yeah.
to expect. I'm just a guest.
Yes, but I wanted to explain our name a
Yeah,
little
because
bit more.
clearly you haven't seen the first episode or episode 0 either.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it's
Judge
fine.
people who have done that.
Wow, 130 people have done it, and I love you. Thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, don't single yourself out. I'm
Yeah.
this.
So let me explain the name a little bit more because mom asked, and sometimes though I should. Sometimes. though I-
Okay.
Sometimes though I should listen to mom. Okay.
I want to listen. What did your mom had to say? Like,
She just sent me a message on the group that said, "Great, we have a group called Teen Bhabiyan, which translates
Why are you on that
Are you
group?
the teen
which
Bhabi?
translates to 3 sister-in-laws."
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's all we do. We gossip about her life.
You were.
I
Because
never
I'm the admin of that group. I named it 3 Bhabia because I was feeling I'm in the US and I'm missing out on all the India gossip. So I needed like a filtered down version of it in family WhatsApp groups. So I will not do that.
Makes
I need the Prezi version of the gossip in my family.
So what did they think about
So
your
yeah, that's mom said just explain the name more. I don't know what you guys did. I said yes, that was the intent. Glad you appreciate it. But before I explain what the podcast is about, I want to ask: are we 1 episode old or are we 2 episodes old? Because we recorded episode 0, we did a pre-recording. How many episodes
I think
old are we?
0 still?
Are we old enough to be called veterans yet?
No, I think we have a veteran sitting here.
We do have a. We'll come to that. Puttu,
yeah,
aka
sure.
Shubhankar Dasgupta, is a
Who
podcast
has
veteran.
experience in radio jockeying?
Yes,
in
he's,
RJ.
he's going to be. That's why he's on the podcast. But sticking to my theme of animal fact. In penguin years, since we did this episode 1 about 2 weeks ago, in penguin years, and I have a link, I'll put it down in the description or in the pinned comment, we are 1 month, 4 days old. Because penguin time runs differently than human time. Just like dog years. Yeah, I didn't know penguin years were different.
Well, they're smaller. Wouldn't you think that?
What, penguins?
Yeah.
But I thought time... Like, I didn't know
I mean,
dog
by
years
that
and
logic,
penguin years.
does a freaking gorilla or
So I
an
found-
ape have is time relative for them as well?
A lot more boring shit was discussed to the end of time. It has been edited for the safety and sanity of mankind.
But if you are fans of the podcast, anytime someone asks you a simple question, overcomplicate it with this answer like I just
One
did.
minute.
Give them a shit answer.
How
like
how
this
old
one.
are you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
4
In
days.
dog years, human years, penguin years? If you are long fans, annoying answers to simple questions is how you
I
show
think
your
penguin is our spirit animal.
Penguin is our spirit animal.
So we should find.
I'm alright with that.
We should be speaking about everything in terms of them. So
Yeah,
yes, this
apparently I
podcast is
heard
fun.
someone in Honda's friend circle might be sending us a penguin fact pretty soon at notinsyllabus@hotmail.com.
You know
Send
who
in
you
your
are.
animal facts there. But I don't think I've gotten that email yet. If you're watching this, I feel
Betrayed.
sad. I was expecting something.
Hold on. Are you talking of betrayed?
I am talking about.
Are you saying that you are betrayed?
I am feeding.
Then
very-
shout out to you, whoever you are. Because, yeah, the reason I saw the episode so many times,
Yes.
because you betrayed me
How did I betray you, Mr. Handa?
multiple times. Hold on, I've made a
How
list.
did I betray you?
I've made a list. Now, you usually come prepared.
You
with
made a
this.
list?
I did.
Okay.
Firstly,
Firstly,
you threw me under the bus.
which bus did I throw you under?
The not in syllabus.
Not in syllabus bus. How did I throw you under that bus?
By not saying who you are.
but that's I would.
Saying that you're an enigma after I've freaking said everything about myself. You also said on the podcast I came up with the name and you forced me to answer why did I come
I
up
have
with the name.
WhatsApp screenshots. I will.
I
send.
have WhatsApp screenshots
I
too.
have WhatsApp screenshots. We.
You said I came up with the name and you made me come up with an explanation.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
that's what
betrayed.
happened.
No, because you came up with the name. I have proof.
You have proof.
I do.
Okay, if you have proof, then we'll put it here.
I'm totally fine being out of this couple's fight. Just so you know.
He will.
Yeah, you're not in it right
He's
now.
just enjoying his coffee.
And thirdly, you did not edit the part that you said you would be editing.
Which is?
The last part.
Oh, I
He's
thought
like
that was fun.
cutting.
I am God when it comes to editing this.
I get it.
That feeling of creation is so powerful. I can make it anything. I can edit this part and put it here and make you seem like a complete asshole.
I get that, but
Great.
I feel betrayed still.
That's fine. You'll get over it.
I don't think I will. So whoever you are who's betraying Parth Palan,
You
by
really want
not
to still
sending-
call them, whoever, after today's
There are multiple
conversation?
people, I'm pretty sure. Yes, we're going to bring that out. Never mind.
Do you sense the discomfort that Handa is feeling right now? If you don't, I can definitely sense it on this table.
The best way I can put it is clench your butt cheeks together like you're holding in a
Yes.
big ass poo.
If you ever know what the expression of an airtight asshole is, it's this. But okay. Coming back to how we came here, it's not in syllabus is a way that at least I used when I was studying the night before the exam, and we used to call up our friends saying, "What did you study? What do you study?" And we used to just mark things of our own whim that we didn't want to study as not in syllabus for things like civics or economics or general knowledge, which is really not that general. I don't know how knowledge can be general. But it's kind of like this podcast is kind of like an homage or a Shraddhanjali or like a 3 a.m. DM to your ex. That is yeah, to all those things in syllabus that we should have paid attention to, but we did not. So that maybe helps. Maybe I'll have to edit out the X part because I was trying to answer my mom, but never mind. But that's kind of why this podcast is called Not in Syllabus. That's the reason why we named it Not in Syllabus. It's the number one regret podcast.
It's one of those things that front benchers used to ask.
Are you a front bencher, Mr. Handa?
I was. Yes.
Oh, no wonder this
I was.
friend that we met today morning for breakfast that you refused to acknowledge on the podcast.
No,
He's also
he
a
doesn't
front
refuse
bencher.
to acknowledge her. He just wants
As-
to acknowledge
as
her
the-
as a friend.
As the appropriate designation that this person should be. Nice. Okay. What? Airtight asshole. What did you think? You saw episode 0, right? As an impartial.
He did not.
He's seen it. He's seen parts of it.
I've seen parts of it.
What did you think about the episode? Honest thoughts. We're just kind of, before we start on episode 1, we're just dipping our toes in episode 0. What do you think?
I didn't learn anything.
You didn't learn anything.
That's the plan. Good job.
Was there even a possibility of you learning anything?
No, but I kind of like that.
You like it? In the
Yeah.
14 minutes that we've recorded, did you think you've learned anything yet in this one?
I feel like I've forgotten stuff that I learned.
Did you feel your brain cells died?
Yes.
So we have the same effect as alcohol.
Yep.
I like that.
And we're not giving them facts in syllabus, but we're giving them facts which are out of syllabus. So they're still learning stuff which is out of
What
syllabus.
is a f-
The
example?
Earth being flat was a fact until it was proven wrong.
Yeah.
Well, everything
I
is a
mean-
myth until it's proven.
I mean, I'm a member of the Flat Earther Society. How dare you? How dare how dare you? What do you mean the Earth is not flat?
Okay, I think...
Earth is not flat, guys. I didn't know this.
Good joke. 5 points to podcaster.
I had a moment where after episode 0, I was thinking, do we really want to do this? But then I remembered we've already spent so much money with the intro, with the outro, with the mics, with the fucking softwares and everything, that I decided it's time to flip the narrative. That we are already the number one regret podcast, and I would also like to propose that we become the number one loss-making podcast. The only podcast that makes more money, that spends more money than it makes. And we made zero.
Yeah, obviously.
And we've spent about $325 already.
This is just a desperate cry for help if you haven't already figured that out.
What do you mean, cry for help?
Yeah, we're doing something we love.
Yeah.
How could you say that?
We are doing
How could you?
This is just fucking desperate.
How could you?
What do you mean?
How could you?
We just never can become the...
So,
Joe Rogan already has the throne for being the number one this thing. There's a lot of other podcasts that will be number one at good things. But there'll be no one who will mostly be able to outspend me.
This is just reverse psychology.
Right? Right? I am $325
Well, you
into
have to
the
count
podcast.
the flight tickets as well.
Oh yeah. Fuck. We should, as chief
close to
executive officer of
$1,000.
the podcast and chief podcasting officer, I think we need to assign Puttu
The arbitrator?
a position on the podcast.
Wait, hold on. We did get one
The reason for that is we need to keep a running tab of Excel sheet, and we need to make sure how much losses we're making.
I'm a fucking guest and I spent $400 to get here.
Oh yeah, you also spent it. But you got to do your thing, right?
Anyways,
We already set a podcast aim, right, in episode 1 that I want to meet Jacqueline Fernandez.
yes.
Right? Fucker, don't laugh so much. What do you guys want out of this podcast? Do you have anything you're looking to accomplish?
They did not say anything interesting, so no points to anyone. Moving on.
But we did promise people answers to big questions in
We
episode
did,
0.
but we
We
also...
said click and you will not be baited.
Yeah, but we also said when Scoop Hoop releases.
Yeah, but how would you solve world hunger?
Sorry, no answer. You were clickbaited. This is a segue. But sisters now talk about how much fiber helps pooping.
Don't...
A good shit in the morning is how my day is good.
That's true.
So it's surprising.
So
it's very
good shit
surprising.
is less shit or more shit?
Like if you get
Way
those,
more shit, of
like if you
course.
get like a,
Then to have more
I
shit,
hope
you
no
have
one's
to have
eating.
more.
I hope no one is eating.
Yeah, please
But
don't
like
watch
that,
this podcast.
like that smooth shit you take in the morning.
Exactly.
It's the best kind of shit. Instead of
It
that,
needs to be
that
in one
tuchuk,
single...
tuchuk shit is
That's shit.
I know it's a bad
badam.
day if it's a tuchuk shit.
It needs to be one single nice smooth log.
Yeah, like a snake, like a snake shit. It can't be like a splatter shit.
Can't be pebbles.
Yeah, I wonder if there's an app that you can build for people on social media to share if they've had a good day or a bad day based on the kind of shits that they've had.
Write to us if you have any app ideas.
Hold on. Just like you have tarot card readers, right? What if someone you could take a picture of your shit and upload it, and they would read your shit like tea leaves and tell you, oh, your future
basically
you will
how-
get promoted, or you will I see problems in your future with your significant
So
other.
you're taking a concept from Friends that Phoebe Buffet
I was
used
gonna
to
say,
read.
yes,
Right.
exactly.
Used to read
But for
ends
shit.
of
Bottom
a
of the cup.
Yeah,
This is from you, within you, right?
this is still a bottom of a cup,
Well, yeah.
but
I mean,
a bowl.
it's a
but you don't
different
have to
bowl.
collect it, right? You can just tap a picture of a toilet bowl, and this has been through you, so it has more truth about
I'm
it.
sure we have some software engineers watching.
Then app idea, patent,
So
patent.
please
pending.
write to us at
Patent pending.
notinsyllabus@hotmail.com.
Being the independent
pun
person I am to create solutions of the problems that I create, I want to propose this. That since we started the podcast, we are CXOs of the podcast, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Podcast Officer.
Yes.
Puttu is here, so we should assign Puttu some of the other position on the podcast. And every podcast episode, we assign a new
Personnel.
personal or position, because I want to register this podcast as a LLC or a private company to just keep on adding to the loss making,
Yeah.
and a new one that I want to throw on the board of podcasting directors is Chief Vigilante Officer.
What does that mean?
A chief.
What is his roles?
So these are just things that I come up in my head with,
Just
but
goes
they're
around
important.
Smacking people.
No, we're a non-violent. We're the number one non-violent podcast also. We're number one in so many categories that we will make up. Your head will spin.
That you wouldn't recognize.
Yeah,
or
these are
realize.
path breaking. We're the number one category creating podcast also. Apparently. The Chief Vigilante Officer. Hear me out. The job of the Chief Vigilante Officer is to make sure that we're not working harder than any of the other podcasts. There are no other podcasts who are making more losses than we are, and to make sure we're not, and if we are, their job is to sabotage us.
The opposite of a chief financial officer in a company.
The anti-financial officer. The anti-finance officer.
AFO.
The reason of the voice of anti-reason. Yeah, that's what I'm proposing.
AFO. I agree with that. I think that's a good idea.
Right?
We're the number one idea generating podcast.
Number one idea generating podcast, number one regret podcast, number one loss making podcast, and
We
number
need to
one.
start making a tab of all that stuff.
As the chief podcast officer, I would like to delegate this responsibility to you.
Did you or did you not have like a radio show?
So back in class 10th, if any of you were part of the CBSE board.
No, SSC for life.
God damn it.
Well, I was, but I wasn't required to do what you did.
Okay, so CBSE came up with this bullshit excuse for a project, which was to record a radio show, and afterwards,
You said you spoke for 2 minutes only.
basically 5 minutes combined.
Okay.
So
It
yeah,
wasn't
we
a
didn't
truly
really speak
10
much.
In
No.
penguin years, that would be a lot more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Should have told my teacher that. Well, anyways.
Let's told your girlfriend that.
Is the doctor around? Because we have a burn victim here.
Never mind. I may edit this. Sorry.
Me.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Keep going.
Alright.
Yeah, anytime a woman says
I'm
30
not-
seconds is not long, tell her the same time in penguin years. For a penguin.
I'm not.
You start with something, you put in right the right name, you put in we don't need no education, and you end with dead baby jokes, and your teacher liked it. I was always of the opinion that SSE is best, and I've been proven right by this garbage.
What fake school degree get you money back from that school?
Speaking of time waste, I found this thing when I was scrolling through Instagram. It's called Getting Gnomed. Gnomed. Getting Gnomed. Now, what this website does is they're the number one gnoming service. Meaning they have competitors. Meaning, and what do? If you pay them, then they have different packages. But the whole theme of their service is you will be able to pay them and they will put garden gnomes inside or outside the house of the person you want, irrespective of the security system, the alarm system. They could also fill up gnomes with shit and put them outside. And if they have their specialty called the haunted gnome package, which means that if the person you gnome throws away one gnome, they replace it with 2 the next morning. if they throw away 2, they replace it with 4.
Sounds like that's the podcast to beat, that's the website to beat for.
But
making
imagine
losses.
this is the best way to take revenge. I mean, barring the legalities, we don't endorse it in any way, but if you want to take revenge, this was great.
Sounds like a creepy stuff, but okay.
So the closest thing to this I've heard of is people sending a bag of dicks.
Like
People
real
send-
dicks or like dildos dicks?
No, so
Like
you'll
Mirzapur.
you'll get chocolate dicks. You'll basically get candies
Oh,
in
like
the
that.
shape of dicks.
Oh.
And you can
That just seems like a bachelorette party thing.
Well, yeah. But so the way they do it is they'll send you a bag of dicks where they're all covered in chocolate.
Okay.
Some of them are not edible. Some of them are plastic.
Thank God you said plastic. Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Android tracking. And
Like
this is
my
still-
phone knows when I go to poop because it'll show me the same ads during my poop
And
every
also
single day.
You're also scrolling Instagram probably.
Yeah, that's true.
So anytime he's scrolling Instagram, his
Yeah.
phone automatically knows he's pooping.
Yeah.
Or maybe the phone doesn't know he's pooping. They know that he's doing something
Maybe.
regularly.
Okay. Maybe if he had a heart rate monitor, then maybe it could
Heart
lead.
rate slow equal to pooping. Heart rate high equal to something
Depends
else.
on how much effort you're putting in pooping. Your heart rate should go up or down. But yeah, you could gnome anyone you want.
Oh god, that's.
And there's also one more. There's another podcast that I was listening to on Spotify where they were talking about sending a message to someone, but having it delivered by a person. Meaning I want to tell Shubhankar something, but instead of texting it or calling you and telling you that, I put it on the app. The app finds a person who is near you. They tell this person on the messages. This person will come to your home and in person yell it, sing it, and as proof of delivery, they will take a selfie with you.
I think I know. I mean, I've heard of the same thing. There are different levels of how
What
much
is
you
this
pay.
called? I love to
I don't
find
know.
names for all this.
We're just going fucking backward. Like, you know how in olden times you had like a messenger? who
Yeah,
would-
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It's like
What's that movie where he was running the whole fucking way
Yeah.
for the message?
Alright, Forrest Gump.
No. Not Forrest Gump. Not Forrest Gump for Lal Singh Chadda.
No, it's similar to people paying other people to stand in
That
lines.
one shot, one cut movie. What was it?
Oh, wait, I remember this. 1811 something, that military...
Yeah.
World War One.
Yeah, but this guy doesn't run. They can go anywhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like you could use this service for breaking up.
Pink T-shirt podcaster seems to have had a lot of breakups, sobs and sadness after recording.
Every time I brew my coffee through an espresso machine,
Richmond,
and I throw away
Ladies
the
and gentlemen, he has an espresso machine,
which is worth
which
$1,000.
is pretty good. If you also want to make losses like this podcast, you can also consider buying this hobby.
spend money on
Spend
things
money.
you don't need.
Yeah. But tell me, he does make good coffee.
Okay. So
Chief Coffee Officer,
CCO.
Chief Beverage Officer,
fine with that.
Chief Beverages Officer.
Instead of CCF, it's CCO.
CCO. What is
CCD, CCO. Chief
CCD.
Coffee Officer.
CCD is chief.
No.
Oh man, so
no.
many bad dates at Cafe Coffee we have had. No, God.
No, I mean, instead of CCD, he's CCO.
One coffee, one sandwich. With this smooth
Yeah.
segue, I would like to take us.
That was so not smooth.
I don't know how else would you segue into it. Okay, I'll tell you the topic. You come up with a segue.
Just saying
Okay,
segue
okay.
doesn't-
Bring it up. Let's see.
Segue. Transition. But okay, we were talking yesterday about all of our dating histories.
Yes.
So, are you guys, for all the viewers, are you guys dating, single? What's your status right now?
About to be married.
About to be married.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
that's
about
pretty
you?
much not single for all you guys. What
You.
about you?
You.
Me, I'm single.
I'm dating.
You are dating? Okay. What has your dating history been like in the past? Do you have any moves that you could help our audience with? We want to be a very helpful podcast, right? The number one podcast with no game.
You just said it's not supposed to be educational.
But this is not education.
This is not something
all
that
the
you
stuff
learn
that
in
is out of
classes.
syllabus.
These nerds have no game whatsoever.
Trying to not clench my buttocks.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Mother and mother-in-law, puttus, if you're watching, this is not the part for you.
Please fast forward.
Yeah, we won't talk about the subject you told us we are not going to talk about. So we'll only talk about this. Good. Okay.
What subject was that?
Edit that line. bitch.
No. Auntie, don't ask me. But yeah, help.
So, I think the closest I've come to dating before, well, not even dating, like, being involved before I met,
Your significant other,
Yes.
who shall not be named yet.
we shall not take names yet, is when someone in college confessed that she had feelings for me, but this
And
was...
these were good feelings?
Yeah.
Okay. just checking.
Not feelings of poop.
That made no sense. Just like this podcast. If you are still watching this, please consult a doctor after hitting like.
But
Just
like,
checking. Poop feelings are great.
feelings.
But
Just
yeah, feelings, yes.
And this was after I had started going out with who I'm about to marry.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
And
So you two-timing whore, what did you do?
she knows about this. I don't give a shit. So the person who confessed to me,
Yeah.
we had. I mean, there was a very specific thing that we both liked.
Yeah, there was. Still, keep going. Sorry.
This is gonna get me in trouble. But anyway,
Yeah, that's what this is all about.
We used to drink this chocolate milkshake. Fuck off.
What was your how did you seal the deal? Meaning, how did you patao your to-be wife? Do you have a move did you use that she's unaware of?
Yeah. I pretended to know nothing about dating.
And
That's
it? What do you mean?
it. Just made me so much more attractive.
What do you mean? You didn't know, pretended to know? This is about helping our viewers. Don't be so fucking cryptic.
This is about helping people who actually don't know anything about dating.
You can't give advice,
So-
but you can put yourself in their shoes and then just tell them what you would do.
I will tell you one thing. The greatest catalyst of all is food.
Food. Okay,
Yes.
I agree with that for all scenarios.
Nothing else works better than food.
Okay.
You got to taking your to-be wife for food. How do you get someone to go out with you in the first place? I think that's the question we want to answer.
All alone.
How do you get to that point
How should
where
you date? So
Yeah,
let-
exactly.
Okay. So let me.
And I've not
you know
been
what?
this single in a long time.
One second. Parth,
Let
you
me
know,
another aim that I just thought of another aim I have for the podcast apart from obviously getting Jacqueline in on the podcast. Jacqueline, if you're watching, do something. I don't know, but like, share, subscribe. But we also want to be the number one loss making podcast. And number 3, I want to be famous enough that when I write a book about dating, things or dating etiquette.
Well, shouldn't we ask that to the person who has had the most number of
exactly.
dates?
That's what I was about to say.
Varahanda.
No, you're the
We'll go
person.
into my
Yeah, the point is, Parth. Okay, fine, we are dating, but
Yeah.
you are going on multiple dates.
Even you have had more dating experience than I have. Why are you asking me this question?
I'm asking him the
I
question.
mean, why did you
But
guys
now-
ask me?
I didn't ask. He asked you the question.
Second is you. I'll end it.
No, I'm asking
we
you.
will proceed in level of difficulty. No, I've had one committed relationship.
Or
you have
as you would
more
like to say
dating
in
history.
levels of
I haven't had more.
I want to be famous enough to sell it. Sell
I
like
think- I
10 copies outside of my family.
I think what's gonna sell that book is telling the podcast that
Yeah,
the
like
sheer
in
number of dates.
like
you
in
have had.
retrospect, I shouldn't have done that type of my things in the book.
Okay.
I think that is another aim that I have from this podcast. We're also the number one ambitious podcast. We make a lot of goals and aims, but I don't know if you'll
With
follow
every
through.
passing episode, there's a new goal and a new aim.
That I mentioned to you guys as well.
Yeah.
That when it comes to dating,
Yeah.
the one regret that I have is that I did not date someone worse.
And as soon as his girlfriend saw this episode, he met regret.
If exes rated each other, oh my god, this would be so great. If you went on a date and
You need to
The
have
picture?
that many exes to rate you.
whatever, even one ex, but they leave a review like
Like
has a
Raj
lot of
Kutrupalli.
mommy issues, would not date, dressing style is good, but
An asshole.
an asshole, would not date. It's just so good. You see a picture, you see the bio, and you see a
Feedback.
Yelp review for dating. Why not? Right?
That is actually good.
Needs therapy. I taught him how to dress.
Here's the thing though. You'd have one person with a lot of 5-star reviews.
Who would that be?
Let's say
Definitely no one on this panel would get 5 stars. If you want other such bullshit features on a dating app, let us know in the comments section.
Like, what are we going to do on the next episode? Are we going to answer the big questions? Are we going to hold elections for the positions of arbitrator,
think
chief
by-
vigilante officer, chief
Yeah, I think we
copy
should.
officer?
Yeah, so please apply to our positions and we will consider those applicants.
Yeah, but we don't want just anyone applying.
I mean, we want applicants. There's nothing to choose if we just have one
Yeah,
applicant.
then we can
want
just
to.
assign them even if they don't want it. Did Spider-Man want to be Spider-Man? No.
but he loves being Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's after he became Spider-Man though.
He got
He became Spider-Man without his consent. That fucking spider bit him without his consent. So we also thrust these positions on people.
Okay. That sounds fair.
That sounds not wrong at all.
Yeah. I don't think that sounds wrong. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
I think, yeah.
And then I was thinking we end each episode on an obvious cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. What's the cliffhanger of
We
this
just
episode?
cut each other off mid-sentence.
What's the cliffhanger?
Like we start saying something really important and that's where I end it.
If you still did not get it, that was the cliffhanger ending.
Gotcha, bitch!